At exactly 9:17 on a quiet Tuesday morning, gravity just stopped, no warning, no strange rumbling in the sky. One moment, the world was perfectly ordinary. The next, a teacup drifted gently upward from a kitchen table. Spinning slowly like it had suddenly remembered it could dance, the woman staring at it blinked. Twice, then her chair floated. Across the street, a 12-year-old boy named Tund was tying his shoelaces when his backpack lifted off the floor and hovered above his head like a confused balloon. He reached for it. But the moment he pushed off the ground, he floated too. Bumping softly into the ceiling fan, Mommy shouted. Spinning slowly in the air. I think the house is broken. Outside, chaos unfolded in slow, silent confusion. Cars rolled a few inches upward, tires spinning uselessly. Street vendors clutched their stalls as fruits and drinks drifted skyward like colorful fishermen. Invisible ocean, a group of pigeons, suddenly unemployed from the laws of nature, flapped their wings in panic, losing all sense of direction. Within minutes, news stations interrupted their broadcasts. We repeat, one reporter said while holding tightly to a floating desk, gravity has apparently ceased functioning. Scientists are still investigating at the International Space Research Center. Scientists were far from calm. This is impossible, muttered Dr. Chen, clinging to a railing as papers floated around her like snow. Gravity isn't something that just turns off. That would mean the fundamental force holding the universe together is malfunctioning, finished her colleague, who was currently upside down and too distracted to fix it. Meanwhile, back in his house, Tund discovered one major advantage to floating. He could finally reach the jar of cookies his mother always kept on the highest shelf, unfortunately. The cookies floated away the moment he opened the jar, escaping like delicious little astronauts. By noon, governments issued emergency instructions: hold on to heavy objects, stay indoors, and avoid open skies. This last instruction came after 3 tourists in Paris accidentally floated high enough to gently collide with the Eiffel Tower, where they remained stuck. Politely arguing about who was responsible, airplanes became confused metal birds. Drifting unpredictably, oceans began forming enormous floating domes of water, with fish swimming in spherical worlds suspended above their usual homes. Whales, surprised but majestic, glided through these watery bubbles like living submarines in the sky. But something stranger began to happen. Without gravity, people moved slower, voices softened. There was less rushing because rushing no longer worked. You had to think before moving, plan before pushing off a surface, and trust others to pull you back when you drifted too far. Tund and his mother spent the afternoon tying ropes around furniture and each other, laughing whenever one of them spun like a slow-motion top. His mother, always busy with work, suddenly had nothing to do but float beside him and tell stories about when she was his age. Across the world, similar moments unfolded. Families held hands to avoid drifting apart. Strangers worked together to anchor buildings and rescue pets that had floated into treetops. By evening, scientists finally noticed something. The moon's gravitational pull was fluctuating wildly, like a heartbeat trying to remember its rhythm. Wait, said Dr. Chen, staring at the data. It's not gone. Gravity isn't broken. It's paused. Paused? Asked her colleague. Yes, she said slowly, like the universe pressed a reset button at exactly 9:17 p.m., 12 hours after it all began. Gravity returned, not suddenly, but gently like a blanket settling back onto a sleeping child. Objects lowered. Oceans returned too. The basins. The 3 tourists slid down the Eiffel Tower with mild embarrassment and excellent stories for their families. Tund landed softly on his living room floor, clutching the last cookie he had managed to catch midair. He looked at his mother standing firmly beside him. Do you think it will happen again? He asked. She smiled. I don't know, but if it does, we'll be ready that night. People all over the world slept a little differently. Some tied small objects to their beds, just in case. Scientists never fully explained what happened, but many people agreed on one thing. For 12 strange, floating hours, the world slowed down enough for humanity to remember how important it was to hold on to each other, gravity or not. And somewhere far beyond the stars, the universe continued quietly, as if nothing unusual had happened at all. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the story, be sure to like and subscribe for more.